G'day everyone, how you going? Hope you're having a good day today. Today we have a computer here that needs some repairs, and it's actually a friend of mine who's brought this in. I built this for him a few years ago. He's got a YouTube channel on Rubik's cubes, yeah, he's doing really well with that. But the reason it's here today is because, of course, it's not working properly, but this time it's a bit unusual because it's not actually hardware that is the issue. It appears to be a software issue. He's unable to basically connect to the internet, and is suspicious that he may have some malware or virus causing the problem. So he's tried to fix it himself and got nowhere with it. He was up very late to like 1:30 in the morning trying to resolve it. He's given up and he's asked me for help, and I said, yep, bring it in. And that's why I'm not in my usual attire. It's actually on the weekend, on a Saturday. I don't normally work on Saturdays. I try to have some rest and recovery. But in this case, it's helping a friend out who urgently needs his computer working again, because it's kind of critical to his business and his YouTube channel. So we're going to give him a hand and see what we can get, to see if we can get it done today, and that way he gets minimal impact from the issue. So I'm not 100% certain it is a virus, because hey, with all the horrible updates we've been getting with Windows 11 lately, I would not be surprised if it's some kind of Windows issue.
Microslab, Windows 11, and most stable Windows ever.
But we'll track it down and find out. So while it's here too, I'm going to give it a bit of a tune up in the service, because it's been a while since someone's touched it. The reason I say it probably needs a service is you can see in here there's a heap of dust, like heaps, and it's actually very visible on the back here. It's a very heavy case, so I don't want to have to lift it and move it around, but the fact that we can see that much just sitting on the graphics card alone tells you it's pretty bad. So it's going to need a good dust out, and I'll probably redo the thermal paste as well, just to make sure that everything's hunky-dory, as well as of course getting rid of the network issue or virus that is plaguing his system right now. So yeah, that's what we're doing today. It's mainly about fixing software rather than hardware, so it's going to be a little bit different than normal, but it should be fairly interesting, I think. Once we've got the software sorted, we'll give it a bit of a clean up and tune up. First things first, we need to investigate this network issue and what's going on with it, and see if we can fix it.
Oh, here we go again.
Alright, so we've turned it on now at the lock screen, and the first thing I've noticed down the bottom right is we have an Ethernet connection symbol, which means, according to Windows, we have at least an Ethernet connection, and most likely internet. So, which is interesting because it means it is connecting. But I need to get into actual Windows first to confirm that, and I forgot to ask him for his login. Alright, I finally got the pin from my friend, and we're in the computer now. He told me he did try loading up AVG to try and kill whatever it was. As you people probably know, I'm not a big fan of AVG. It's not a very good antivirus, so it does not surprise me that it failed to get rid of it.
Oh, there's a big surprise!
I just want to see what happens when we try to go online. So as you can see here, Razor's even saying it's offline. So this is what he's saying is going on. You go to any search and it just comes up, no internet. Let's try Edge. Yeah, no internet. I think for starters, I'm just going to Just gonna try a network reset and we'll see if that resolves it. That's a built-in tool when you go into, as you can see, network and internet, advanced network settings and network reset. So generally, if it's just like corrupted settings for your network files that Windows uses, this will correct that. Alright, we'll see what we get next. And nope, it did not fix it. So whatever is causing this problem is still doing it. Alright, what we'll do next is I'm going to get my heavy duty malware killer. One of my first tools I like to run is when I got a problem is ADW cleaner. It just tends to find things that take over your browser. If it's actually being caused by a browser hack, it'll kill that pretty easily. And we have some my search entries here and something else, I'm not sure what that is. Another AVG and my search, okay. So we'll get rid of those, but I highly doubt they're what's causing this, because it was doing it even in Edge. So normally, if it's just a browser hack, it would only be like Google Chrome, which is what he seems to be using. He said that he also loaded up Malwarebytes, so we'll open Malwarebytes and we'll do a quick scan. But I think the tool that's going to probably win is going to be what I'm going to run next, which is Road Killer. Road Killer scans deeper into some more critical areas of Windows and finds the viruses that hide system files and things like that. So it's more likely to detect it and kill it. If it still can't get it, then we'll be going into safe mode so that we can dislodge it. There's some viruses that because they become services or drivers, the only way to stop them loading on boot is to go into safe mode and then run your tools for killing it from there. And it's looking like Malwarebytes isn't finding anything, which is probably because he's already run this. So he's tried to do the right thing, yeah. Other than AVG, I wouldn't have bothered with AVG. It's a pretty much useless antivirus. And it's more like a virus, to be honest. And as I've said before, it's owned by Avast, who's already been caught out doing dodgy stuff with people's information. Alright, let's go for Road Killer. I think this will be the one that gets the job done. Every time I've had a harder virus to get rid of, this is the one that wins. So I'll let that go, because this one takes a while. Yeah, because it goes so in depth. And we'll see if it finds something dodgy, and then we'll go from there.
Well, well, well. What do we have here?
Alright, I disappeared to go have a bite to eat because time was getting on and I hadn't eaten and I was feeling a bit hangry. But while I was away, it finished scanning. Apparently it only took 8 minutes to do the scan. And we can see here it's picked up some nasties. And from what I'm seeing here, we got a PowerShell malware that has, it looks like it's, yeah, it might be posing as the PC health checker from Microsoft maybe. Then we've got some proxy server virus, so it's redirecting his internet through these dodgy proxy servers. So that's probably why he's getting no internet. That would be the main one. He's got new tab, ChatGPT search with ChatGPT. I'm not sure whether that's dodge or not, but it says it is, so it's a class as a potentially unwanted program, so this may not be. Yeah, I think we'll untick that because I'm pretty sure he wants that. So we'll go down a bit further, and again ChatGPT Edge, so we'll leave that alone. Yeah, and then there's no other entries, so The 2 home pages I'm not going to touch because I'm pretty sure that was deliberate that he wants that. It's just the proxy server and this PowerShell checker thing. I'll add an exclusion to those 2 because we don't want it to do that. Alright, so now we've got the ones we want to remove. We click remove and it will kill it off. It says remove finished. Oh, I was waiting for it to do a percentage. It just says removal done. And then we'll just check. So it's only done the ones that I said to do. And it's deleted, and replaced. And so what we'll do now is we'll exit out and we'll reboot and we'll see if the internet works now.
A few moments later.
Alright, so it seems to have rebooted without blue screening or getting some kind of issue, because sometimes that can happen because this virus replaces a Windows system file, and which can result in a blue screen error, but that doesn't appear to be the case. So let's go on the internet. It's a little bit slow to get going. It probably just needs a service, I think. Right, so that took a little while to come up, but it worked eventually. Let's try weather again. I always just like doing like a weather search. Hey, look at that. The internet is back. And yeah, that's working as well. So we'll do a speed test. And speed test is working. And it's zooming along at correct speed. That's great. So I would say the Road Killer has done the job. That's made by Adlice. Great program if you have got a more serious virus. There you go, done. So we'll move to servicing, because I don't think he's done much servicing on this computer. It's looking pretty positive so far. I'm just going to quickly go through some stuff and then I will come back in a sec and we'll do some further servicing. Alright, I'll be back.
Does it run hot or does it run cool?
Alright, I've gone into my Ada 64 Extreme to check the temperatures, and we seem to be idling around about 37 degrees. So let's just see. I can't really remember what I put in this thing. So the processor is an i9 11900K, or KF. Okay, so it's a 2021 computer. So 11th gen i9. Motherboard is an MSI MPG Z590 Gaming Force. I'll see which BIOS it's running. So it's got BIOS version A90. So I'm just going to check out whether the BIOS needs updating. Okay, so it is actually mostly up to date. There's only been one other BIOS version after A9, and that is the AA version, which was released in, looks like, August 2024. So this motherboard hasn't had many BIOS updates, but it looks of it. When a manufacturer doesn't release very many BIOS updates, it usually means the board's pretty stable and didn't need a lot of fixes. So that's pretty good. So we'll do that in a minute. I always do that last because I find if you're using a PIN to log in, it can sometimes reset the PIN so that you can't use it anymore, and then I have to bring out the customer. It's a real pain. So we'll do all the other servicing first, and then we'll do the BIOS at the end. But let's do a bit of a stress test. So we'll go back to our sensor, bring up the stress window, and we'll see if the liquid cooler and everything is working okay. Oh, it's thermal throttling. That is not good. We're going to stop right now. Stop. Wow. Alright. It jumped way up. It's going to run that again. I didn't watch what on the left, what temps it got up to. Yeah, it skyrocketed to 92. Alright. Yeah, that's not right. Alright, so there's clearly a problem with the cooling system. So we better find out why it's getting so hot, and that's probably why it's feeling a little bit sluggish. because it's overheating and thermal throttling, and then when you throttle it feels sluggish.
15 minutes later.
Okay, so I'm over at the test bench where the computer's sitting, and I took the top panel off it, and you can see huge amounts of dust sitting on top there. The underside of that panel, you can see it's caked on there as well. Very bad. The O11 dynamic, once you take the top off, the sides slide up. And now I can see inside this panel, I can see clearly there's dust on it. I'm just going to take the filters off. So you can see they're pretty filthy. They're actually pretty easy to remove and clean as general maintenance for a customer. Quite often that never happens, and that's what's happened here. I try to show people how to clean their computers so they can do it themselves, but people get busy, I guess, and it's not something that you think about, and this is what happens. So they're going to need a good clean. There's quite a bit of dust hanging around on the power supply as well. Oh, okay. So there's quite a decent film of dust in his radiator. So that's probably making it run quite hot. So that's going to need a good clean out. If it's been running at like 90 degrees a lot, the paste has probably dried out, most likely. So, and it's been a few years, so it's probably just due for some new paste. Amazingly, the rear or bottom filter is pretty clean, so it's clearly not drawing in a lot of air through the bottom. It's mainly pulling it from the side. And even though there's a lot of dust sitting on the graphics card, where the fan side of the graphics card, I don't see hardly any dust. So it's clearly not being sucked up. It's just getting pulled in and out. Alright, so let's get this pump head off and we'll have a look. Alright, so I got the pump head off and I'm seeing what looks to be the problem that the Intel processor lockdown mechanisms cause. So yeah, hopefully you can see now how it's like the paste looks like it's gone concave in the middle there, where it's thicker in the middle and thinner on the outer edge. That's a classic symptom of the locking mechanism actually flexes the CPU into that shape, and the way people have been getting around it is buying these special locking frames. So you take off the silver locking thing and replace it with a frame that holds the CPU down more evenly, and then you get much more even contact with the liquid cooler head. But yeah, we don't have that available today, so what I'm going to do is just clean the paste off, redo it. We'll see if it helps, as well as getting all that dust out of the liquid cooler radiator. It's all going to help, and hopefully that should fix the problem of the overheating. Alright folks, after getting all that dust out of the machine and repasting it, we find out whether it's helped or not. I've let the computer turn on and settle and finish all its processes, and now it's sort of idling around about 32 degrees, which is pretty good. And now we'll give it a bit of a stress and we'll see whether it throttles or not. So as you know, on the last time around this, it immediately went up into the 90s and was thermal throttling, and it was like instantaneous. Now it looks like it's around 79 degrees, 77, 78, so it's sort of hovering high 70s, and occasionally it's going to hit 80. Yeah, there it goes, hits 80, but then it drops back down. So yeah, no thermal throttling. So that's fixed it. Just huge amounts of dust and a new bit of paste, and it's amazing what results you get. So that means it won't thermal throttle and you won't get performance drops at bad times. So that's really good. So that should make his computer feel a lot better. Alright, we'll turn that off. So we've got the cooling sorted out. So now I'll just finish off by doing drivers, then finally the BIOS update. We'll put it all back together and tidy it up. And this machine has a MSI RTX 3060 Ti in it. It's a bit of an older card, but apparently Nvidia wants to bring this card back, so we might be seeing more of these in the market. So yeah, we'll give it a bench test just before I give it back to my friend, just to see how well it runs with the setup. Alright, so leave it with me and I will get the drivers and BIOS and all that done, and we'll finish up with some benchmarks.
Alrighty then.
Well, that's going to be it for this video. We managed to get this computer working for my friend again. Got all the viruses out of it. That proxy virus was messing up his internet, so we killed him off. We also got all the dust out of it and repasted it and got those temperatures down from the 90-degree range back down to the 70 to 80-degree range under load. And got it all tuned up and updated and ready to rock. So it's been a successful repair, and I've told my friend it's ready to go and he's going to collect it tomorrow, and then he'll be able to get back onto doing what he needs to do with his channel. So yeah, and I did sort of give him some pointers that he might want to dust his computer out a bit more often. So that's going to be it for today. Thank you for watching to the end. I hope you found it interesting, useful, or just entertaining and a bit of fun. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.